As the hint of light pierces the darkness, Utah farm and ranch families are already hard at work providing food for the table, planting the seeds of hope, cultivating and growing plentiful crops, harvesting the fruits of their labor, and caring for newborn animals. It's what farmers and ranchers have done for generations. Their love for the land, their animals, and their way of life is part of who they are, who they've always been. Looking back over our 100-year history, it's clear to me that the Utah Farm Bureau was born from the belief that strength comes from working together. In 1916, a group of sugar beet farmers joined together and formed a co-op creating what is now the Utah Farm Bureau. It's been said that Farm Bureau is more than just an organization. Rather, it's an institution of freedom, because a hungry people is not a free people. The strength and leverage of the Farm Bureau organization is its grassroots approach to solving problems. During World War II, deferred farm workers and farm women went to work, producing record-setting harvests to defeat the Axis powers. Boxes of Utah turkeys found their way to the front lines. In the 1950s, county farm bureaus created a mutual insurance company, finally giving farmers much-needed coverage for themselves and their families. The 1960s saw the Utah Farm Bureau work successfully to enact into law one of its landmark achievements, the Farmland Assessment Act of 1969, commonly known as the Greenbelt Law. This law changed farmland taxes from a market value system to one calculated on value for farming. This one act has kept agriculture sustainable in Utah, and with large savings along the Wasatch Front and heavily populated areas where property values have increased significantly. Farm Bureau has been there through the farm crisis years, the sagebrush rebellion of the 80s, market booms and busts, water battles and public land challenges that never seem to end. Farm Bureau has adapted to its circumstances in order to stay effective, yet stay true to its core principles. Farm Bureau invests time, money, and resources in its members, and is committed to helping members learn, gain experience, and express themselves. This investment results in great Farm Bureau and community leaders. Over the past 3 years, we've interviewed many Utah farmers and ranchers for a legacy video project. Their love of family and of agriculture is very evident. When asked what they get from Farm Bureau membership, everyone mentioned the value and enjoyment they get out of associating with other members.
One of the things that I've enjoyed most about Farm Bureau is being able to meet and associate with people who have similar family values based on the land and the resources. They're good, solid, God-fearing people with good values that are similar to ours.
Farm Bureau's unified one-voice approach ensures that good farm policy is developed.
I think one of the main benefits we get from being involved with Farm Bureau is our voices do get heard. And we are involved in the policy-making process that affects our operation and our industry every day.
Farm Bureau members are seen by the public as an effective voice of agriculture.
I'm a Farm Bureau member. It is my job to try to educate the general public. It is also their responsibility to learn where their food comes from, and they need to help us and they need to help protect us so they have something to eat, they have clothes to wear.
Our members know why they're in business.
What's not to love about agriculture? From seeing the crops grow throughout the year, hopefully getting a good harvest at the end of the season, and delivering that food to consumers. It's a great thing.
Perhaps more important than all this is their love of this way of life and the opportunity to share it with their family.
I love farming because I can farm with my kids and my nieces and my nephews, and yeah, there's some miserable parts of it, but overall, I love it. I love to be out here in the orchards. I love to work with the different people. I love to work with my family.
There is not a better place in the world to raise a family than on a farm and ranch. That is the truth.
In summary, here's how our members feel about Farm Bureau.
Farm Bureau has been so important to our operation. In fact, I believe that there's no way that this farm could be existing today without the things that Farm Bureau has done for us on a county, state, and national level.
Farm Bureau's benefit, 2 words: voice, respect. It is the voice of agriculture that commands respect.
I wish to thank each of you for being part of an organization that has been committed to the cause of agriculture for almost 100 years. The Farm Bureau has played a key role in guiding public policy decisions impacting agriculture in our state since its earliest beginnings.
As Farm Bureau stands at the dawn of its 2nd century, it's only fitting that we pause to celebrate the Farm Bureau spirit, a century of accomplishments made possible by a long line of dedicated farmers and ranchers who since 1916 have invested a lot of time, effort, and trust in Farm Bureau to improve their farms, families, and communities. With this Farm Bureau spirit intact, the Utah Farm Bureau Federation will continue to be the collective voice of agriculture, helping to lead the way for Utah farmers and ranchers as they achieve their hopes and dreams in a 2nd century of success and accomplishment. Forward Farm Bureau, the rallying cry of farmers 100 years ago, still rings true today as Utah's farmers and ranchers move forward to a 2nd century of promise.